Amplified Metalgarurumon. Hey, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will be looking at the Figurized Standard Amplified Metalgarurumon. Released in July of 2020, this is the third Digimon kit of the Figurized Standard Amplified line. And being a part of this lineup, it means Metalgarurumon has got a facelift. And next to its anime iteration, you can see the subtle changes and differences between the two. The overall body looks very similar, however the biggest change would definitely be the head and the wings. And personally, I prefer this design over the anime. I just think it looks more badass. I find that this design is much more spiky and angular compared to its anime counterpart, and it generally looks just thicker. I have yet to panel line this kit, and I personally don't think it needs it. This kit comes with really good colored part separation, I find. We got the light blues, the dark blues, the reds everywhere, pinks even on the claws and the tongue, which is really cool. Really good use of glossy pink. And the very nice white that it has on his legs. All look really good and contrast really well with the overall kit. The only negative aspect I find for this kit is that yellow that they use. It is similar to the one that Imperialdramon has, and I just find it's like a really cheap imitation gold. You can't really see it on camera, but the gold is very hazy looking. I definitely know that Bandit could do a much better gold, but I'll overlook it just because the kit still looks really good. And coming back to that panel lining aspect, it doesn't really have any deep panel lines and everything kind of pops up by itself, so I don't feel the need to actually do it. But I did apply all the stickers that was given, and they were relatively easy, no issues there. This kit looks very cool, especially if you put it in a dynamic position or put it on a flight pose, and the effect parts definitely help in that aspect. But without it, and in a neutral pose, it just looks like a robotic good boy. Non-threatening, but savage looking. Also, it could do this. Yeah, the model kit's able to stand upright. I've watched a lot of Digimon throughout my years. Never seen Metalgarurumon do this. Pointless, but nonetheless impressive. Also red crystal crotch. The kit is cool, badass, and impressive. Now let's check out the articulation. To show off its full range of motion, I'm going to take off the wings. Needless to say, they get in the way. Head can pivot side to side like this. Neck can go up this far up and down. Head is able to look up and down this far. And the mouth can open up this much. And interestingly enough, the top of the head is moving, not the jaw. For the forelimbs, just because the wings are off, it could do a 360. This here shoulder armor has some movement as well. This piece also connects to where you put the wings. We have this much of an elbow bend and full extension. These cute little paws could fully 360, and we got a nice foot extension. And the toes have an incredible 90-degree bend. Unfortunately, they're not separate though, it's just one big paw. Alright, let's flip this guy upside down and see he's got a good side bend, as you can see. Good range of motion right there. We have a small range of motion for the back extension and the ab crunch. And we have a full 360 of the torso. Also, the upper chest section can move up and down, as well as side to side. And also, while we're under here, I want to point out this cool little emblem thing he has on his chest. It looks cool, and it goes well with his red crystal crotch. And while we're down here, he has a good pelvic tilt. Here's the leg movements attached to the hip. Pretty good, because they're on a ball and socket. It can almost rotate 360, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. I think it might break something. As we move to the back legs, we got this much of a knee bend and this much of an extension. And since the hind legs are digidegrade, the ankles can move up this much. It's a good range of motion, can't complain. The rear paws also have a 360, the exact same pivot, but the toes are not separate and cannot bend, however it has a great foot bend. I mean, look at that, that's friggin' ridiculous. And as we come to the end, we have his tail. It is unfortunately molded in that yellow as well, but it has some range of motion to it, like a side to side. Look at that. And a 360, and up and down. A really good up and down. Next up, let's see what he's got for accessories. Beginning with these cool clear effect parts for his wings. They look really good, and they are also very easy to put on, so that's pretty good. Just line up these pegs into the slot. Et voila! The effect parts definitely make the wings look a lot bigger and much more impressive. And while we're on the wings, we got this much range of motion going up and down. And a hinge on the wings allows it to move this far out. and rotate this far in. And yeah, the effect part is actually inhibiting the movement slightly from rotating in. Just something to keep in mind, so you be careful with that. I'm not sure if these are accessories, but these missile pods also attach to the wings. Not much to it, but they look pretty cool. Next up for accessories, we have this really cool adapter piece. And to use it, let's pop off this wing, take off the missile pod thingy. If you look in the roof of his mouth, you can see where the hole is for the adapter. Slot in the peg on the wing into the adapter, then just slide the adapter in. I know for sure that the anime has never done this before, but it definitely looks different, and it's cool you can pull off a Zacian pose. I mean, look at that, it's pretty cool. It's a very strong attachment, you don't have to worry about it falling apart. No issues here. And you know what's better than one sword? Two swords. Unfortunately, you can't add on the effect parts because it would be hitting his body. But a sick pose nonetheless. I really like how Bandai's adding all these extra gimmicks. Just like how on the War Greymon Amplified, they give him the Crushing Claw and the shield. It's not needed, but it's very nice to have. Next accessory it came with is this Action Base 5, which is clear and has a nice blue base. It's also supposed to have this clear lock piece, but I lost it, so I'm just substituting with this. To use that base, we are given this clear adapter piece. Simply just slide it on between the abdomen and the hips, like so. And once on that action base, it looks pretty dope. Much more dynamic, and the effect parts definitely help. Or you can just put a sword in its mouth and then just make it come at you. Better yet, double swords. It definitely needs another set of wings though, so you can pull off this pose while having the cool effects on the wings. That's all for his accessories. Now, I put on his effect parts and I'm just gonna shake this thing violently. It held up pretty friggin' good. Having built this like 10 months ago, this thing has no problems holding up any pose and nothing is loose. It was very pleasant to play around with, unlike those Zoids kits. Speaking of Zoids, here it is next to a high-end master model Wild Liger, an entry grade RX-72, a real grade New Gundam, master grade Sengoku Astray, Donkey Kong Amiibo, Space Marine Dreadnought, entry grade Doraemon, A&W Root Beer, Egbert. And lastly, here it is, next to its trading card, in a shelf. Next to some other Digimon kits. Beautiful. So what do I think about this kit? I absolutely love it. But I'm completely biased, so that's my own opinion. The only things I found that Bandai could have improved is definitely the yellow. That's my biggest gripe. And the head's articulation is kind of awkward just because the top part of its head is the one moving, not the lower part. Otherwise, that's completely fine. I can overlook all of that. Appearance wise, it looks like a beast. Very easy to build, super fun to pose with. Also very easy to put in any pose you want. The kit's got some nice little gimmicks and extra add-ons. So what's my final thoughts? I love Digimon, so I definitely had to grab this. And if you're a Digimon lover, you should too. If you're looking for something new to build, or if you're a relatively new builder and like the design, go ahead, pick it up. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed it. I love making it. Let me know what you think. I do be hoping you come back in the future. There's lots more reviews coming. Take care. Bye.